In this video, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting and multiplying radical expressions. So whenever it comes to adding and subtracting radicals, it's the same concept as if you were adding and subtracting variables, like terms. We have to have the exact same radicand and the exact same index. So first thing you want to do is you want to simplify all radicals, and then identify those like radicals, the ones with the same index and same radicand. Once you identify those, you will add and subtract the coefficients, but keep the common radical. So an example of this in variables would be 2x minus 5y plus 7x. Our like terms are the 2x and 7x. So what we do is we add 2 plus 7 and we keep the x. Okay, so 2 plus 7 is 9, so we get 9x minus 5y. It's the exact same concept with the radical. So for number 1 here, we have 3 square root of 27 minus 2 square root of 12. So I'm going to simplify all radicals. So 27 is 9 times 3. I can break down 9 into 3 and 3. This is a square root, so I'm looking for groups of 2. And I have 1 left over. So the 3 comes out as 1 3, so I have 3 times 3, square root of 3, minus, now let's break down 12. We get 4 and 3, 2 and 2, so there's my group of 2. This is left over. So we have 2 times 2, square root of 3. So we have 9 square root of 3 minus 4 square root of 3. These are like radicals. They have the exact same index, they're both a square root, and the exact same radicand, they're both a 3. So we can combine the coefficients. So we get 9 minus 4 square root of 3. Well, 9 minus 4, that's 5. Square root of 3, which is your answer. For number 2, we have 10 square root of 28 plus the cube root of negative 56 minus 4 square root of 175. First thing we want to do is we want to simplify all radicals. Now notice that the only possibility of combining radicals is going to be with the square roots here. We don't have another cube root. However, we still want to simplify this. Okay, all answers should be in simplest form. So if I break down 28, that's 7 and 4. Break down 4, you get 2 and 2. So a 2 comes out, multiplied by the 10, so you get 20, and then the 7 stays, so we get 20 square root of 7. It's actually not going to be a plus, because that minus, since we have a cube root, that minus will come out. And then we can break down 56. So 7 and 8, 4 and 2, 2 and 2, cube root, I'm looking for groups of 3, so there's my group of 3. The 7 is left over. So we have minus 2, cube root of 7, and then we can break down 175. 5 and 35, 5 and 7. There's my group of 2, that's 1 left over. So the 5's come out and multiply with the 4, so we get negative 20 square root of 7. The only things that we can combine is the 20 square root of 7 and negative 20 square root of 7. We combine the coefficients, so 20 minus 20 is 0. So all we are left with is negative 2 cube root of 7. These cancel each other out. Multiplying radicals, again, is very similar to multiplying variables. If we have x times x squared, we get x cubed. Okay, we start changing the exponents. Now there's a nice product rule that we can use. So, and it says, if we have x nth root of a times y nth root of b, so the roots have to be the same in order to multiply. We multiply the outsides, and then we multiply the inside, so a times b. Once you do that, then you simplify. So looking at number 1, we have square root of 27 times square root of 5, both square roots. That's good. So we don't have any coefficients on the outside to multiply, so we multiply what's on the inside. Well, 27 times 5 will give 135. Then you simplify. Okay, so 135, two numbers that multiply is 27 and 5. This will give 9 and 3, 3 and 3. So there's my group of 2. I have a 3 and a 5 left over. So this will become 3 square root, and you will multiply those that are left over. So 3 times 5, that'll give 15. Looking at number 2, we have both cube roots, which is good. Now we have some variables. Okay, so again, whenever we multiply variables, we start adding the exponents. So same thing works with radicals. So these are both cube roots, it's good. Let's multiply the inside. So 54 times 5 will give me the cube root of 270. M to the 8th times m to the 4th. You add your exponents, so 8 plus 4 is 12. So we have m to the 12th. Then we simplify. 270, two numbers is 54 and 5. 54 breaks down to 9 and 6. We can break down 9 into 3 and 3, and 6 into 3 and 2. So cube root, I'm looking for groups of 3. The 2 and the 5 are left over. Now let's break down the 12, m to the 12th. Now I could write out 12 m's and circle my groups of 3, or I can see if I can divide 12 by 3. Well, that would give me m to the 4th. There's no leftovers, okay? It divides evenly, which means I have no leftovers underneath the radical. So the 3 will come out, m to the 4th, and then I have the cube root, and these two are going to multiply, so 2 times 5 is 10. Let's look at our next one. We have the cube root of negative 3, a to the 7th, b to the 4th, times the cube root of 36, a to the 6th, b to the 2nd. So multiply the inside, so 3 times 36, this is going to give me the cube root of negative 108. A to the 7th times a to the 6th. Add your exponents, you get a to the 13th. B to the 4th times b squared. Add your exponents, you will get b to the 6th. So let's break down the 108. So the negative, because it's a cube root, will come outside. And then we can break down 108. Well, 3 and 36, 6 and 6, 3 and 2, 3 and 2. So here's my group of 3, kind of a random scatter there, and I have 2 2's left over. So right now, I have a negative 3 on the outside of my cube root, and 2 times 2, which is 4 on the inside. So now I need to break down my variables. Well, a to the 13th, if I divide that by 3, because we have a cube root, 3 goes into 13 4 times. You get a to the 12th, and then you have 1 left over. So we have 1 left underneath the cube root. Same thing with b to the 6th. If we divide that by 3, that will give me b squared evenly. So on the outside, we have a to the 4th, b squared, and on the inside, we are left with an a. So that's your final answer, negative 3a to the 4th b squared, cube root of 4a. Now, we can also multiply binomials. This would require us to either FOIL or distribute. Okay, so in number 1, we have the square root of 10 times 5 square root of 5 minus 2 square root of 2. So we can distribute the square root of 10. So what happens is the coefficients on the outside get multiplied, so there's an invisible 1 here. So 1 times 5 is 5. Square root of 10 times the square root of 5 is the square root of 50 minus 2 square root of 20. Now we simplify. Well, 50 is 5 and 10. 10 breaks down to 5 and 2. This is a square root. I'm looking for groups of 2, 1 left over. Can also break down 20 into 2 and 10. And 10 goes to 2 and 5. There's my group of 2, the 5 left over. So a 5 will come out here and multiply, so we get 25 square root of 2 minus a 2 will come out here, so we will get 4 square root of 5. And I can't simplify that anymore because they are not like radicals. Looking at number 2, we have 4 minus the square root of 5 squared. Now this squared means that we have 4 minus the square root of 5 times 4 minus the square root of 5. So we FOIL. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times negative square root of 5 is going to be negative 4 square root of 5. Negative square root of 5 times 4, again, is negative 4 square root of 5. And then negative square root of 5 times a negative square root of 5. So that would be a positive. If I multiply the inside, I get 25. So I will get 16. Negative 4 square root of 5 minus 4 square root of 5 is negative 8 square root of 5. And then the square root of 25 is actually 5. So whenever you are multiplying a square root by the exact same square root, you just get out the radicand on the inside. So then we combine like terms. 16 plus 5 will give 21 minus 8 square root of 5. Last example, we have 8 minus square root of 10 times 3 minus square root of 10. So we FOIL. Multiply the first. 8 times 3 is 24. Outside we get negative 8 square root of 10. Inside we get negative 3 square root of 10. And last we get plus square root of 100, okay, which this just turns in to 10. So we have 24 plus 10, which is 34. Negative 8 square root of 10 minus 3 square root of 10 is negative 11 square root of 10. And that's your final answer.